I may talk a lot about space games on this channel, and definitely one in particular, but there are other games that I like to play and talk about. And to be more specific, I am particularly fond of driving games, especially those that offer the deepest levels of realism and immersion. And it seems that this year is going to be particularly interesting for anyone who is interested in the genre, due to the sheer amount of titles that are slated to release. And so in today's video, I'm going to reveal you my top 5 list of the driving games that I am anticipating the most this year. Okay, let me get it straight. I wasn't a huge fan of the Crew 1, although I played it for about 100 hours, mostly with my brother. Found the driving too arcadey for my taste, the single-player campaign had maximum levels of cringe for my taste, and there were a few details on the map that felt incredibly unrealistic, notably the way highways were laid out and made. The series then had a sequel, The Crew 2, that I liked even less, bringing its arcading gameplay to other levels of vehicles, while not improving the shortcomings of its previous game, notably featuring a game world that more or less felt the same. So why would I then be anticipating the next The Crew game then? Well, first, that's because the series will go to one of my favorite places on Earth, and that is the island of Oahu, Hawaii, which we got to visit in games made by some of the makers of The Crew, and these games were Test Drive Unlimited and Test Drive Unlimited 2, more on this series later. I am also looking forward to one more time driving in the middle of these amazing locations, and also if the small teaser we got to see is an indication of the artistic direction the title is taking, then it is going to look amazing. I am also curious to see if the driving sensations will improve and how the developers are going to avoid feelings of déjà vu we might experience having to deal with yet another fake car festival like those that we get to see in Forza Horizon. You probably haven't heard of this game that is currently developed by Aerosoft and seems pretty well fleshed out already, but Citydriver aims at giving players a realistic driving experience in a one-to-one recreation of the city of Munich, Bavaria, Germany. Of course, the entire city won't be recreated in the game, that would be insane, but by one-to-one, the developers mean that for 1 meter driven in a game, you would drive 1 meter in real life. So here we should be able to explore some of the iconic areas of Munich, like its city center, the Allianz Arena, and even its surrounding autobahns, just in case you want to see how fast we can go with some of the cars that we'll drive in a game. And because Citydriver aims at being a realistic game, it will therefore give us realistic things to do with our car, such as picking up some people and transport them around the city, or do some shopping around town. It may sound boring, but Aerosoft is working really hard to create realistic traffic conditions, including traffic jams, that completing the game's objectives will prove quite difficult, and will in fact be the main challenge the game will offer. Citydriver is scheduled to release to early access later this year, and you can follow the development on SimNext or wishlist the title on Steam. Next, let's talk about Forza Motorsports. Now, I haven't played much Forza Motorsports 7 due to being frustrated of starting my races at random positions, which would make it sometimes impossible to win on tracks where overtaking can be difficult. Well, Forza Motorsport is going to rectify this shortcoming by offering us full race events, including practice and qualifying sessions, and that is one feature that makes me want to give the Forza franchise another chance after my recent disappointment with Forza Horizon 5. No release date was revealed, but Forza Motorsports is expected to release later this year, and we'll probably learn about it more during this year's E3 event. I am so sick and tired of low-class gangster, urban, underground style of racing games. It was fun a few times during the 2000s when we had games like Need for Speed Underground, but to me at least these games have become so repetitive that in the end I just stopped buying them or even caring about them on my channels. That fatigue is also why I loved the Test Drive Unlimited series, that gave us the chance to drive beautiful cars in beautiful environments as beautiful people, and quite frankly, this is something that I personally would aspire to do one day if I ever get to be fortunate enough to do so. But on the other hand, never in my life have I aspired to become some kind of low-life thug whose only prospect in life is to race at night against equally shady people. This has zero interest from me at all, and this is not what Test Drive Unlimited Solo Crown will offer. In Test Drive Unlimited Solo Crown, you will be driving around a one-to-one recreation of Hong Kong Island, and you will be playing a well-off car enthusiast who will have to choose between two racing clubs, one that favors a more classy lifestyle and one that favors a more exuberant approach to wealth. All of that will be reflected by the cars they drive, which I find hilarious because it will really give us the chance to see which vision of racing and which lifestyle shall prevail over the other, and that is why in the trailers we were shown, for example, coupes versus SUVs, factory car versus tuned cars, and casinos versus nightclub. Test Drive Unlimited Underground Solo Crown was supposed to ship last year, but was delayed, and we should be able to learn more during the next Nacon showcase. That will happen in a couple of months. Taxi Life, formerly known as Urban Venture, is also being published by Nacon and will somewhat be similar to Citydriver, but in a more gamified way, which should make this game more interesting in my opinion. In Taxi Life, you will be roaming a recreation of the streets of Barcelona, Catalonia in a one-to-one scale, first as a taxi driver, but then as the owner of a passenger transport company. You will have to manage your fleets of vehicles, including their maintenance, their fuel levels, but also your drivers, including their condition. The game will feature realistic traffic conditions with cars and pedestrians that you will have to watch out for. It's interesting to note that NPCs will not always follow the traffic rules, so this is something that you will have to look for in order to avoid getting an accident. The game world looks phenomenal, featuring day and night cycles and dynamic weather in the future. Each of the vehicle's interiors will be fully functional and will play an essential role during your passenger missions, as they may want to listen to a certain radio station, or they may need you to lower the AC, or they may just want to have a conversation with you. You can follow the development of Taxi Life on their Discord or Twitch channels, where you will find the links in the description down below. And that's it. These are the 5 driving games that I'm looking forward to the most this year, but let me know in the comment section down below which one are you looking forward to the most. Is there another one perhaps that I haven't mentioned? Well, please also share with us in the comment section down below. Thank you to everyone for watching this video until the end. If you think that I did a good job, please let me know with a thumbs up. It will also really help out with the algorithm. And if you want to see more gaming content, then smash that subscribe button for more. It's been Irad. I'll see you guys later. Shout out also to Dr. Fabin, Deplorable Infidel, Zero Crusher, and Wolfbite Pug. Thank you so much for watching. A premium video like this one takes a lot of time and effort to record and edit, and I am aware that you'd like to see more of these as much as I'd like to produce more as well. This is why I rely on YouTube and Patreon members as well as Twitch subscribers to keep the lights on and help me become one day a full-time content creator. The closer you help me achieve this goal, the more I can do for you. Together, we've already accomplished so much, and I cannot thank you enough for your support. You are making all of this possible.